In 2017, Saudi Arabia announced Neom, a mega city built in the middle of the desert. It was supposed to be a futuristic, car-free utopia, but looks like the project is running on fumes. Do you know why? Because Neom has a $500 billion price tag. It's too much, even with all that oil money, $500 billion. So now Riyadh is changing tack. It is courting more and more investors. This week, hundreds of investors will visit the mega city. They will look at the progress and hopefully want to invest. Riyadh is also chasing Chinese funds for the project. But will that be enough for Neom to take off? Our next report tells you.
Mirrored skyscrapers, flying taxis, billions of trees, glow-in-the-dark beaches, a fake moon. This was the plan for Neom, a futuristic Saudi megacity being built in the middle of the desert. Neom was announced in 2017. It was Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's brainchild, a way to diversify the kingdom's oil-dependent economy. It was billed as humanity's chapter, but the project had a $500 billion price tag, and that has since raised eyebrows. Architects questioned its viability, while investors questioned the cost. And the project hasn't made much progress. In 2022, MBS unveiled the line, which will run a 170-kilometer straight line through the desert. It was expected to be 33 times the size of New York City. MBS said by 2030, its population would exceed 1 million. But reports suggest otherwise. First, the project is moving very slowly. It's supposed to be 170 kilometers long, but only 2.4 kilometers will be constructed by 2030. Also, new projections say that only about 300,000 people will live in the city by the end of the decade. So it's nowhere near the original plan. And that's because of investment. Most of the money for Neom has come from the Saudi Sovereign Fund. Foreign banks have been hesitant to provide loans. That's because the project doesn't have a government guarantee. Investors too have steered away from it. They question its viability and future. You see, the idea of Neom may sound grand, but there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. How it's being built, where it's being built, what the final vision will look like. All of that has affected funding. So Saudi Arabia has a new plan, a show and tell for investors. Hundreds of bankers and investors will descend upon the megacity this week. They will be shown the progress. The idea is to dispel any doubts over it, to show investors how much work has actually been completed. Riyadh is also conducting investor roadshows. It just took its Neom roadshow to China. Neom officials visited Beijing, Shanghai and Hong Kong, all to court Chinese investors. No deals have been signed yet, but Riyadh is now heading to Europe and the US. The idea is to secure as much funding as they can. Because while the project may be MBS's crown jewel, Riyadh has realized one thing. It needs consistent and sustainable foreign investment to make Neom successful. Because a cutting-edge city may be easy to imagine digitally, but building it in the middle of a desert is no cakewalk. And right now, Riyadh's vision definitely doesn't match its reality.